everyone, I got a request to compare the Sarasa Vintage colors to the Sarasa regular colors. When you see the Sarasa Vintage swatched, they're swatched next to each other, and same with the Sarasa regular colors, but you don't really get to see, for example, what the Sarasa Vintage Brown Gray looks like next to the Sarasa Clip Tea Brown. You can just call this one brown too, by the way. You don't have to call it tea brown. It's a long story, but it has to do with the translation. And the dark blue, you can see how that compares with the blue black. And the blue gray, which I keep in my Sarasa Grand. The blue gray, the request was to pair it next to a gray, but I actually think the better comparison could be with the Sarasa Pale Blue, which I have in my pre-fill here. And I'll also do it next to the Pilot Sky Blue, because I feel like those could be good, you know, good kind of like, how do I say, muted blue comparisons. So I'm gonna do all of that for you. I will swatch the green black next to the Viridian, even though I feel like the Viridian is way just more like a kind of a brighter green. So I don't know that it's necessary, but I'm gonna do that just in case there's someone who would like that. I'm gonna make sure I'm in the screen here. So, okay, so why don't we start with the blue black? Now, one thing that's important to note is the Sarasa Clip regular colors, you can get them in 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.7. Some of the colors even come in 1.0, but not all. The blue black is one of those colors that will come in all of those sizes. So, you know, whereas the Sarasa Vintage only comes in 0.5. So that's something really to keep in mind too when you're deciding. If you find 0.5, for example, way too thick, then you're always gonna prefer the blue black 0.3. So here is the blue black in 0.5. And you know, don't worry, at the end I'm gonna zoom in so you can see all this better. This one is the dark blue. In 0.5. And I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but there definitely is a difference. Let's go on to the brown gray. Actually, I'm gonna do the brown first. Oops, I still got some stuff on there. There we go. So there's the tea brown, the regular Sarasa Clip. And then this one is called brown gray. It's a little more of an earthy brown, I would say, if that makes sense. It's definitely a difference that you can really see when they're side by side. Moving on, let's go do the blue gray. Let me make sure. Yeah. Oops, I like to do the regular one first because I want to stay consistent here. I've got all the vintage on the second line here. Okay. Okay, let's start over here. Okay, what am I doing? All right, just your gray in 0.5. Okay, and now I'm gonna do your blue gray in 0.5. Completely different, see? Okay, now I'll do, just for those of you who would like it, I'll do the Viridian versus this one is called the green black. So we've got Viridian. And then here's your green black. Oh, I hate when I leave some of the tip on there. All right. And before I move on, because I'm going to add some to this, let's zoom in. Seeing the difference? All right, now let's zoom back out. I'm gonna add a few more colors just to give you a little bit more context. Now below the Sarasa Clip Brown and the Brown Gray, I'm gonna put in the Juice Up Brown, because some of you might be familiar with that. It is a great new pen with an even different shade of brown, but you can kind of see that there. And then I'm going to add to this one, I'm gonna add some of my favorite, now this is probably a 0.4, but this is the pale blue. And again, I'm just doing this for the color context for you. Man, that blue-gray is so amazing. I can't get enough of that. And then this is the sky blue in the Juice. And this one's only a 0.38. So keep that in mind too, that I'm using little thinner tip sizes on this one. But you know, there really isn't anything like this blue-gray, in my opinion. You can see these different brown shades. Your blue-black and your dark blue are probably the most similar, but what I'm gonna do right below here is I'm going to swatch a black so that you can see these two colors next to black. So why don't I go with a Sarasa Clip Black here. This is the limited edition Sarasa Clip McKee, which only comes in that McKee limited edition set. Okay, this is, but it's the same black Sarasa ink in the regular. It's just the one I had close to me. And it's a 0.52, so you get that context. And don't worry, I'll be zooming in again. And what I think I'm gonna do right underneath these browns is put the red brown. No, sorry, red black. I don't know why I just called it red brown. Red black. Okay, now I'm gonna zoom in so you can see what all these shades are like. So you get an idea about the dark blue, how it compares, the brown gray, your blue gray, which again, nothing like it. I think that's why I love it so much. And then your green black. All right, I hope you found that helpful. Have a great day. Bye-bye.